Attention, Gooners, this is last minute and you can't ignore it. A few hours before Arsenal against Manchester United, William Saliba made a heavy statement, one of those that changes the atmosphere of a classic and moves the entire dressing room. It's not a phrase for English, it's a direct message. And as if that wasn't enough, Arsenal have just updated the injury situation, with return dates that could completely change the course of the next games. There are important names involved, there are surprises, and there are big decisions being made behind the scenes. If you think you already know everything that's happening at the Emirates, hold on. Because what comes now explains a lot of things that fans need to understand before kickoff. Stay with me until the end, and let's move on to today's news. But first, just check if you're already subscribed to the channel, because the next videos will be a series of content that will help you stay informed about everything related to Arsenal, the Gunners. Turn on the notification bell and select the All option. Once that's done, we'll send you everything last minute that comes out of Arsenal's back rooms. Gunners, we have a goal of likes to reach this video of 128 likes. In the last video, we reached the goal in less than an hour. Prove that you are a true Gunners and leave a like so we can reach this goal soon. Arsenal are in the spotlight again, and I'm telling you right now, the mood around the club feels different, like something heavy is brewing that every Gooner from London to Nairobi to Lagos can feel in their bones. William Saliba's recent statements before the Man United clash didn't just drop, they hit like a detonator, shaking the entire fan base. This isn't one of those empty sound bites that gets forgotten by kickoff. He spoke with a fire that said, "We're not just here to compete. We're here to silence doubters." You can hear it in the way he frames his mindset, like he's carrying the weight of expectations, but also the confidence of a man who believes this squad has teeth. It makes you sit up and really think about where Arsenal are right now and what this season could mean. Fans who've stuck through tough campaigns are feeling that punch in the chest that arises from belief mixed with stubborn loyalty that only comes from years of watching this badge. For those who bleed red and white, that statement from Saliba wasn't just bold. It was a call to arms, a reminder that Arsenal are not here to make up numbers. That intensity from Saliba bleeds into the injury picture, because the last thing this team needs is to be understrength when key battles are looming. The updates on return dates have been a topic of fierce debate among supporters, with many saying time and again that the depth of this squad will be tested like never before. It's one thing to have quality players, but when you lose rhythm because of knocks and setbacks, momentum becomes fragile, especially in tight league races. The Gunners have had their brushes with misfortune, yet the way Arteta has managed resources and rotated without losing identity has been something to respect. But every absence is felt, the rhythm changes, the flow disappears a bit, and the pressure builds because these rivals are not sleeping. There's frustration, there's anxiety, and there's hope all tangled together. Because Arsenal fans know that when the guys are fit and firing, this unit can be lethal. The stakes feel higher now, not just because of the calendar, but because every whisper about injuries and comebacks feels like it shapes destiny. Underlying all this is the January transfer window, which for many Gooners brings equal parts dread and hope. Arsenal have been linked with moves, scouted names have circulated, and rumors, some sensible, some wild, have filled the timelines. Yet the reality is starting to settle in that this month might be quieter than some fans expected. No blockbuster signing imminent, and that's testing Field's patience. There's a belief among the core at the Emirates that the squad already has the tools it needs, but supporters, seasoned and vocal, keep asking whether enough is really enough when the title hangs in the balance. You can feel the tension whenever a discussion turns to incomings and outgoings. Every fan has an opinion. Every suggestion sparks a debate, and every whisper feels like it could tilt opinion. It's raw, it's real, and it's exactly why this club inspires such fierce loyalty. Because it's not just about talent, it's about belief, and how that belief is tested every transfer window. Fans have been talking about Ethan Nwaneri and whether sending him out on loan makes sense, but the club's decision to keep him feels like a statement in itself, a kind of trust that only Gooners can fully appreciate. Bringing him through the ranks, watching him grow at the Emirates, feels like something that carries weight for the community. People argue endlessly about whether he should sharpen his teeth elsewhere or stay and learn, and that's the beautiful, maddening part about being an Arsenal supporter. Some see opportunities lost, others see patience rewarded, but what unites everyone is that they feel something, and that's the heartbeat of this club. There's passion, pride, fear, and excitement all wrapped up in how these choices play out. And if you're listening right now and feeling that churn in your chest, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now I want you to get involved. Write "I believe" if you trust that Arsenal will win the next game. Because right now, more than ever, this fan base needs to voice its belief and stand tall for what this club means to us. When you look at the biggest picture of this season, you can't ignore that there's strategy behind what's happening at Arsenal. The management aren't making moves for the sake of headlines. They're thinking long-term, and that's a philosophy that both frustrates and reassures fans. Yes, there's impatience because we all want glory now, but there's also respect for a process that builds something solid and lasting. And that really hits home with people who've followed this club through lean years and watched it rise back into contention. It's that blend of impatience and faith that makes discussions about possible targets so heated. Arsenal are linked with names that excite the imagination, players with the ability to change games. And when you hear those discussions, the mind starts racing about what could be. Yet, for every name thrown around, there's someone ready to question it, to ask whether it's the right fit, whether it's value, whether it's ambition. And that's the kind of dialogue that defines true supporters. We aren't passive. We want excellence. We demand it, and we voice it loudly. That's why you see debates about potential links. Not just about whether they happen, but whether they make sense for a club with serious aspirations. And when those rumors fixate on players whose form is patchy or whose price feels inflated, the frustrations pour out. This fan base doesn't just want signings, it wants smart signings, ones that elevate us. Because if Arsenal are serious about competing in the Premier League and the Champions League, then every decision has to reflect that hunger. Mediocrity isn't in our vocabulary. Improvement is. Every whisper about targets, every speculation about successes, and every shout about comebacks fuels that collective desire. Fans who've followed this club through high and low, from Woolwich to Highbury to the Emirates, know that tradition demands ambition. And that's why we keep pushing, keep debating, keep believing. Drop in the comments, "Let's go Arsenal," if you believe the title is still possible. But let's talk about the core of this squad. The players stepping onto that pitch every week with the cannon on their chest. They carry more than just a badge. They carry decades of expectation from generations of supporters. It's not light. It's a weight many clubs never understand. And when someone like Saliba speaks so openly about belief and resolution, that resonance travels beyond the locker room and straight into the stands, into pub conversations, into group chats at dawn after late-night match replays. It becomes personal. It becomes a shared heartbeat that binds people across continents. And that's the beauty of being a Gunner. It's not just football, it's identity. It's Saturdays amplified, Sundays debated, and every day lived with that sense that something meaningful is unfolding. Fans from the UK, Kenya, Nigeria, we all feel that same pulse. That's what makes injury comebacks, transfer rumors, tactical shifts, and managerial decisions feel like they touch the soul. Every ripple seismic, because this club doesn't just sit in a league table. It lives in our conversations, our passions, and our loyalties. You hear people talk about Nwaneri's situation, and it becomes more than just a squad decision. It becomes a symbol of how we value youth and grit. And when you see management backing that, it sends a message that this isn't just short-term thinking. This is about building something coherent, something that lasts. It's why debates rage, why fans push back, why we demand clarity and ambition. I want you to say, I'm a Gunner right now if you support the team in any situation, victory or defeat. And with that sense of identity comes an impatience that refuses to let Arsenal settle for average. You can hear it in the cries for elite signings, the frustration with half-formed rumors, the demand for players who aren't just good, but transformative. Because this fan base doesn't just support, it expects, and that's a beautiful, brutal truth. Now, as we edge closer to key fixtures and the rhythm of the season tightens, every decision feels electric. The whispers of strategic planning for summer, the scouting conversations, and the speculation about who might elevate this squad, all of it ignites debate because the stakes feel real and the reward feels within reach. The energy is raw, it's visceral, and it's exactly what makes being a Gooner something you carry in your bones. The narrative isn't neat. It's messy, it's passionate, it's loud, and it's unresolved. And that's where we are right now, standing in a moment thick with possibility, uncertainty, expectation, and belief. The kind of moment that keeps you up late, scrolling through opinions, rewatching highlights, and praying for fitness updates that feel like lifelines. So let that feeling churn in your chest, the fire, the hope, the slight edge of fear, because that's Arsenal football. That's what we signed up for, and that's what keeps us coming back, day after day, season after season. Let me know what you think next. Declare confident if you think Arsenal will win away from home this week. And if after all this, you still think that Arsenal are not ready to fight with the big boys, then you better review what it means to be a Gooner. Because what is happening now goes far beyond a simple good phase or window planning. What's happening at Emirates is the rebirth of a giant. Saliba talking rudely before a derby against United? This is no coincidence. It is a symptom of a team that has lost its fear. From a squad that understands that it's not enough to play nice, they have to fight head-on. That it's not enough to compete, you have to crush. And those who don't see this are sleeping on the spot. The board trusts the group, Arteta protects the dressing room like a general, and the kids at the base are treated like precious stones. This is legacy building. It's not social media hype. And if you're still thinking that there's a lack of name, that there's a lack of star, that there's no need to spend 80 million just to make headlines, brother, this is Arsenal. It's not a hiring circus. And those who don't understand this will still be left behind when this machine packs up for good. Now, I want to hear from you. What is the name that would make you get up from your chair and say, now that's it, we're ready? Who is the player who looks like Arsenal and champion football? Because if you're going to bring someone in, let it be to change the game, and not to fill the bench. Comment now, I trust the shirt, if you believe that the Gunners are going to shut everyone up in this final stretch. And pay attention to what I'm going to tell you, because this is no exaggeration. The next few weeks will define whether Arsenal's season will be remembered as another good attempt or as the start of something historic. And if you want to be up to date with everything, the controversies, the behind the scenes, the negotiations that no one is seeing coming, then you need to click on the playlist here on the channel. There are the heaviest videos, the sharpest analyses, and the information that the mainstream media is ignoring. Everything about transfers, internal beefs, injuries, and what's coming in the next few days. It's daily content, direct, no nonsense. Only the strong will follow everything. Click now on the Hot Arsenal News playlist. The link is fixed in the comments and also on the final screen. Don't lose. Anyone who hesitates now will be left out of the conversation. And here we speak loudly. We speak the truth, and we defend this shield with pride. We are Arsenal. Full stop. Now hold on to that emotion, because in the next video, the hole is even lower. And if you think that was the bomb, just wait what comes next.